Ladies, is it okay for men to cry? Yeah. Shut the fuck up.
Very funny guy, you should go back and watch the stick. If I'm not mistaken, crying is a part of healing. So telling a man it's not okay to cry is almost like telling a man it's not okay to heal. Men don't have safe spaces though. A man's tears is never really taken seriously. You know how many memes that this man had to endure about him? Or when this guy cried because he wasn't able to see his daughter? Or when this man just had a simple breakdown? See, growing up in a house where your dad tell you a man ain't supposed to cry, or if you did cry, your mama would tell you things like, shut up before I give you something to cry about. You are teaching men to suppress energy. So what this does, you're not realizing why the suicide rates above men are super high. Men have no safe spaces to unpack. So guess what naturally happens to a person that walk around with that hurt and they're not able to unpack? Yes. Women will get hurt in the process, because when you're walking around dead heavy, it's naturally that you're gonna step on other people's toes, and they probably don't even intend to try to really hurt you. If you're walking around with this hurt and you're not able to unpack, then that's a problem. Then men sometimes don't even want to feel vulnerable around their women out of fear that their women gonna use their vulnerability against them by bringing it up in an argument about his insecurities and everything else. The sad thing is, you cannot even cry in front of your woman. Unless somebody dies, you're not allowed to cry in front of your woman. She will now perceive you as being weak. And don't tell me that is not true. That is absolutely true. If nobody dies and you end up crying for whatever reason, your woman will start to look at you different. She take it as weakness. I've heard women admit this. But crying is a healthy part of growth. Understand this. If you see two people at a funeral, the man that's letting his eyes out, crying his eyes out, most will perceive him as taking it hard. The man that's holding it in, people perceive him as taking it well. Actuality, the man that's letting it out, he's handling it in a healthy way because he's letting it out. He's releasing. The person that's holding it in, he's not releasing. So that pain is going to come out in totally different ways. It's going to be unhealthy. It might give him mental issues. Yes, suppressing hurt gives you mental issues. So yes, if there's anything compressed in me that needs to come out, I make sure I cry. Because life is too hard to walk around with heavy shit in you. A man can't even love you to his fullest capacity walking around with suppressed hurt in them. I don't care what nobody tells you. If there's hurt in you that you're suppressing and you're not releasing it, you can't love to your optimal. So sometimes he don't love you to the best of his ability, but he love you the best he can. He don't get to see those abilities until he's able to let it out. The only question is, where can he unpack?